Mauricio Pochettino absolutely overcome by the emotion of that moment. Quite extraordinary reaction from the Tottenham manager, but from the 90 minutes that we saw in Amsterdam, you can kind of see why it was an incredible roller coaster of emotions, to use that cliche.
He's been fighting himself, his emotions since he's been here. I don't know if you remember him as a player. He was an aggressive centre-back, Argentine. Have you ever met an unemotional Latin person? They wear their hearts on their sleeves. And that was the most fantastic short interview he just gave there, where it was not just about his family, and I think he mentioned people that are no longer with us. An unbelievable performance. I met him for the one and only time, I think it was at Wembley when we were playing Man United, when we actually lost to Man United a couple of months ago. I spent half an hour in his company and came away mightily impressed. Not forget the football side of things, just as a human being, the way he was with his staff, the way he was with us, me as a stranger, other people he's meeting for the first time.
Was it an insight over the last couple of nights when we see what kind of man Klopp is and how he likes his teams to play, and what we've seen from Pochettino and the kind of person he clearly is, that the power of emotion in football and the ability to get a team to do things that, it seemed beyond them at half-time tonight?
I saw hands up. I thought they were dead and buried, Tommy, at half-time. I didn't see it at all because of the way they were performing. And you mentioned Klopp. They're obviously two very different characters, but what you would have to say about him and what he has done for that football club is staggering. It really is staggering. The journey that he's brought this team on, he's like that because he thought he was dead and buried himself. He thought the dream had gone.
Look at those pictures.
Because the opportunity was there. I wrote a 3-2 here, Tommy. Opportunity missed. Too little, too late. I didn't see it. I really didn't see it. I'm not sure he even did, because he's gone. He's absolutely gone. So nice to see the journey that they've been on.
See, football's never been more difficult for managers, and there's no handbook that says this is how you have to be managing a group of multi-millionaires. It's about how you are, what sort of personality you are, and obviously Klopp gets the best out of his players going down a certain road, and he gets the best out of them going down I would imagine, a very different road. And I think what both of them have is an honesty that will tell the players exactly how it is. And what we're seeing now will only help him going forward. I mean, they already know he's a proper guy, and they believe in him. And it's, there's lots to dislike about the modern game. But when you see that reaction from someone who's just achieved what he's achieved, in tears, so emotional, there's so much to like about it as well. Tonight's one of those special nights. We'll remember it for a very, very long time.
Do you have sympathy for Ajax, Brian, in the sense of everything we've seen from them? They've won a lot of hearts on their run to that semi-final. They were seconds away. They had chances to wrap it up. Such a young team who've given so much in this competition.
Yes, because we're in an era now where we were beginning to believe that only the real top-notch, powerful clubs between England, Spain, Germany and Italy, really. I mean, PSG have been threatening to do it but haven't got to a final. Could get to the Champions League or win the Champions League. It's 1996 since Ajax were in the final. They won it in 95. But in this era, you would think... we didn't think it. When I saw them in the first round, the second qualification round this year, I think it was... Standard Liège, maybe, was it?
Sturm Graz,
Standard Liège, and then Dynamo Kiev.
Before even they got into the group.
Well, I saw a good side, but I didn't see a team I thought was going to end up being this close to the final.
Yeah.
So, of course, you have to feel sympathy for them and their supporters and the way they've remodelled the club and the signings, as Keith referred to, going the road of bringing in a couple of experienced players to play with these young players. But, tonight is about Spurs. They haven't been in the Champions League final ever before, or the European Cup. That got to the semi-final, 61-62, lost to Benfica when they had that great team, the double-winning team. So they haven't been anywhere near the quarter-final. Best maybe before with Harry Redknapp, maybe.
That's right, yeah.
That's the best. So they've not been. So it's Spurs night, unfortunately, for Ajax. And with a 3-0 lead... They have to look at themselves, and why did they lose it? Because of that youthfulness and naivety of the team. And Keith pointed out a couple of things there. Late in the match, they had chances to run the clock down, and they didn't when they still had the lead. They didn't have the mentality to do that. Whereas Spurs, I'm thinking of the mentality of the English teams. You look at what Liverpool has done last night. The motivational ability of the two managers, the mentality of the players.
These are live pictures, by the way, coming in from Amsterdam now. So Pochettino has gone and done all his media commitments, spoken to his team, and he's gone back out to soak it all up.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he, Tommy?
Well, the comments that he made yesterday about, you know, he was tongue-in-cheek. He says maybe if we did go and win the Champions League, I'd have to pack it in and go and do something else.
It was the most frustrating season for him.
Exactly.
They were supposed to
Against
start
the odds,
in the stadium in September, and it was put back then till November, and then it was put back and eventually to get in around March. You know, they're putting up with playing at Wembley with low crowds, lack of atmosphere, no new signings, no money to buy players, letting them Dembele go even, who was a decent midfield player. He's had to put up a lot, and Graham has often commented about he's carried the party line in terms of not saying anything much against the club. And that's where that frustration for him, the 19 defeats, narrow defeats, a lot of them against opposition with much more...
He's got more power to his elbow now.
Exactly.
Getting to the
Serious
final.
position now, isn't it?
And he's guaranteed a place next year in the Champions League.
I thought they might, because I'm a Spurs old boy. I thought I didn't
your
really,
camp's here tonight, isn't it?
I didn't really fancy them.
Coming out of the closet now, Tommy.
I didn't really.
They're on the bandwagon. That's what it is, right?
I didn't fancy them, but my heart was telling me go for them. Go and say they're going to. And I was putting it down to I was trying to come up with an argument why they would win it and get through tonight. And without sounding big, I was right. I didn't think that the quality.
What was the reason, though? What were you thinking?
The Premier League. The Premier League
against the
They'll
Dutch.
dig in. The way they changed the game last week, and they'll just keep going and dig in. Because tonight, the quality they showed was very limited.
Yeah.
It was just grit and determination, battle hardened, which the Dutch league doesn't have, which I don't believe the Spanish league has. Looking at them either, the Premier League, everyone talks about it.
It's only the last couple of years. I mean, there's only been one English winner in the last 11 years.
Yeah,
Graham.
Yeah, you've got the Real Madrid have dominated it because Real Madrid have dominated it because they had the biggest budget of anyone to spend on players, and they had Ronaldo, and before that was Messi, and we come what we said earlier. They invested nothing at the start of the season, Real Madrid, and they've paid a heavy price for it, both domestically and in this competition.
We have a Tottenham-Liverpool Champions League final.